Welcome to this edition of UCentral News.
And I'm Patrick Talbot.
I'm Eden Jones. An inmate was found dead inside his cell at the Oklahoma County Jail early yesterday morning. The discovery of inmate Kyle Shaw happened as staff served breakfast. Paramedics arrived and began life-saving efforts, but it was too late. Shaw was booked into jail in May 2021, facing a charge of assault and battery. This is the second reported death at the county jail this year.
And now investigators will begin digging through the rubble to find the cause of the massive Canton fire. The $65 million complex was under construction and was scheduled to open in spring. At least 80 firefighters helped in their efforts to put out the fire, and no injuries were reported. Investigation will rely on security footage and digging through the rubble to determine what caused that fire.
And UCentral covered the destruction of the fire on the scene and spoke with crews to give us an update. UCentral's Jonathan Richardson has the story.
When there's smoke, there's fire. With just a few weeks of the Canton apartment complex to open, a fifth alarm fire starting from the roof and pushing into the second and third floors will significantly push back the expected grand opening.
As the building began to deteriorate, we had some partial collapses inside, and since there was no life safety issues inside, nobody was inside, we wanted to pull our fires out, so we're in what we call defensive operations. Construction workers, firefighters have been working since Tuesday to put out this fire. Demolition has begun as the first steps to fully rebuild this complex.
Oklahoma City hasn't seen a fire like this in quite some time, and this is why it's going to be taking a few weeks and even years to fully get this complex back up to what it was preparing for.
These are rare. A fifth alarm fire of this size of structure is very rare. I have almost 15 years on the job, and this is the biggest fire that I've seen.
They're working very hard as we speak.
To have the fire under control tomorrow, in the next couple days. So, and that's we're working simultaneously with the wrecking crew, so we're only allowed to move as fast as they are. So as they tear down portions of the building, expose new fire, that allows us access to get in there and extinguish the fire.
Reporting from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Jonathan Richardson, UCentral News.
At this time, the fire is out, and we will continue to update on the state of the recovery efforts.
And UCO will host a vaccine clinic next Tuesday for both the COVID-19 vaccine and the flu. This will be at UCO Center for E-Learning just down the road on Bryant near the OU Health Center. They will be accepting walk-ins and appointments. You can visit UCO's COVID-19 website for more information and resources.
Speaking of COVID-19, let's take a look at UCO's COVID numbers for today. The University of Central Oklahoma is currently at level 2 operations and is facing 47 active cases. Currently, there are over 2,000 recoveries since the beginning of the last semester.
And as for Oklahoma COVID numbers, the state of Oklahoma currently has over 700 new cases. Oklahoma has over 20,000 active cases, and there are 778 total ICU hospitalizations right now.
And the weather seems really nice today, would you say?
Yeah, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and toss it over to CJ and see what he can tell us about what we're going through right now, what we could be facing later this week.
Thanks, Patrick. Yes, it is feeling very nice out there right now, sitting at about 69 degrees, mostly sunny skies. It's feeling very nice out there for that Valentine's Day. So if you have something special with that special someone, today definitely would be a very good day to go ahead and take care of that. Winds not too windy out there, blowing it south at about 5 miles per hour. Humidity's not too high either, sitting at about 16%, and it feels like it's 72 out there. So definitely feeling like a very nice day here in Central Oklahoma. Let's go ahead and check out our weather headlines for this week. We're going to see an enhanced fire risk as we start to go throughout this week. We're going to start to see some of the winds pick up, and it's going to be very dry, and that fire risk is going to shoot right up. So be aware of that. We're also going to see some storms rolling into the OKC metro area on Wednesday, and these storms are going to be very eventful. We're going to have some severe weather risks. We're going to have some snow. We're going to have 50-mile-per-hour gusts of wind. It's going to be a crazy day of weather coming up here. When we come back, we'll go ahead and take a look at just what you can expect. Patrick, Eden, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, CJ. And starting tomorrow, one of the busiest intersections in the metro will be under construction. Pennsylvania Avenue and Memorial Road will be getting a Texas turnaround. Westbound Memorial will be intermittently narrowed to one lane. Later in the project, northbound Penn and eastbound Memorial will also have lane closures. The project is expected to last through the summer of 2022. Drivers should expect lengthy delays and add additional time to their commute.
And UCO's Black Student Association will be hosting an event titled The Miseducation of Us, which will celebrate the history and experiences of the organization. The event will be held at the Nye University Center in Ballroom A on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. The event is hosted through the UCO Office of Diversity and Inclusion.
And tomorrow, UCO will be celebrating Black History Month and will center the experiences of the Black community. Students can join TRIO Student Support Services for an event called Black Mindfulness, where they can discuss the value of personal mental health and well-being. All are welcome, and the event will begin at 2 p.m. in room 109 in the Human Environmental Sciences building.
And now for an update on the situation in Ukraine. Tanks have been spotted 10 miles from Ukraine's border, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced that the U.S. is closing its embassy in Kiev and relocating diplomatic personnel to the western city of Lviv. President Biden spoke with Russia and Ukraine's presidents over the weekend, but there were no major breakthroughs. Germany's chancellor also met with Ukraine's president as well in ongoing de-escalation efforts.
And a scandal in skating. Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva is cleared to continue competing in the Beijing Winter Olympics despite failing a drug test before the Games. That means the 15-year-old will be able to compete in the short program of the women's singles competition Tuesday, and she is the favorite for the gold. Valieva already helped Russia grab the gold in the figure skating team event last week before the failed December test came to light. She was immediately suspended but challenged the ban and won. The International Olympic Committee spokesperson says the case against her is ongoing, which means the medals for the team event are on hold, including Team USA's silver and Japan's bronze. And if she medals in Tuesday's competition, it could be taken away. And coming up, we talk to students about their Valentine's Day plans. Patrick, what are your Valentine's Day plans?
Right now, I don't have anyone to spend Valentine's Day with, so I'm just going to go home and probably watch some TV. But when we get back, we'll check in with CJ again to get his full forecast for the weather.
And when we come back, we'll go ahead and take a look at just what you can expect coming up in this next week. Stay tuned.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out?
Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
And welcome back to UCentral News. Are you looking for a forever Valentine, or maybe you're just looking to foster some dogs? The local group 405 Rescue works to take care of abandoned and abused animals while they are rehabilitated. UCO's Kelly Merca has the story.
Meet Kenna, a rescue who has been with her foster family for almost a year. And while she looks like a happy pup now, she hasn't always had the easiest life.
So the people that had her before tried to surrender her to the Oklahoma City vet, but they didn't live there. So the Oklahoma City vet shelter couldn't take them in.
I want to warn you that the photo you are about to see may be hard to look at, as it shows the severe injuries that Kenna suffered. Kenna was thrown from a moving vehicle that was going highway speeds down a gravel road. Fortunately, there was someone driving behind her who was able to stop and help. Kenna is doing much better as her foster family has worked with her as she worked through not only the physical trauma, but emotional trauma as well.
And to me, just to see how much she's blossomed is very heartbreaking, because when we first got her, she didn't know how to be a dog. She didn't know how to be a puppy.
Co-founder of 405 Rescue, Sydney Lee, says it's their mission to rescue as many pets as they can to avoid overcrowding in shelters and unnecessary euthanasia.
So 405 is a 501c3 nonprofit animal rescue. We save dogs and cats all over the state of Oklahoma, whether they're on the euthanasia list like Flint, or sometimes we do odor truckers, sometimes we do strays that have served their stray hold, but most times we're partnering with other rescues or municipal and rural shelters.
This is Flint, who is a new rescue to 405. He was a stray found with chemical burns that have since been treated but will never fully heal. Ryan and Christine want to encourage those who have the time and patience to become foster parents to animals such as Kenna and Flint, who not only need but deserve love and care. From Mustang, I'm Kelly Merca, UCentral News.
Kelly, and in the spirit of the holiday, today we ask students on campus what they will be doing for Valentine's Day.
I'm really not going to do much for Valentine's Day. I'm probably just going to stay home, eat bread, get all fat and sassy,
For Valentine's Day, this will be my 20th Valentine's Day single. So I will be taking 2 more classes and then going home, doing my laundry, and crying myself to sleep.
Well, my Valentine's Day isn't going to be as sad, but I'm going to be hanging out with Ian and Rainey. I'm going to do a self-tape for an audition, and we're just going to hang out and have some fun and eat some candy.
I'm doing absolutely nothing for Valentine's Day, but I'm so happy for everyone that is doing something. I love you all. You are all amazing. Wow, Valentine's Day.
Yay, Valentine's Day!
Well, for me personally, I don't think I'm going to really do anything special. I think I'm going to talk to a bunch of my friends and really just reassure them that they're loved and, keep talking to them. Because while they're alone, they may not have anyone to tell them that I got their back, basically.
Wow, I can really relate when she said this was her 20th Valentine's Day alone.
Yeah, same. That's pretty much what I'm going to be doing too. I'll just probably go home and watch some TV. Let's toss it over to CJ to get his full forecast for what we got going on this week. Evidently, we got quite a day ahead of us on Wednesday.
Well, that's right, Patrick. We do have quite an eventful week coming up, but for right now, we'll go ahead and take a look at our weather headlines coming up for this week. We're going to see an enhanced fire risk as we start to go throughout the week, as we're going to see some winds start to pick up, and that dry air is going to be able to make that fire risk go through the roof. Wednesday, those storms are going to move in. We're going to see that front start to move throughout the state, and as that front moves in, it's going to bring severe weather and snow, possibly. We're going to see some severe weather. We're going to see a lot of lightning. We're going to see maybe some hail, some 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and some snow and sleet on top of that. So it is definitely going to be a very eventful week in weather in Oklahoma this week. Let's go ahead and check the current conditions around the state. It's sitting at about 67 degrees here in the metro area, as we see in the northern part of the state. It's a little bit cooler. Guyman sitting at 61, Woodward 59, Ponca City 62. And as we start to go down south, we're going to see some of that warmer air start to make its way into the state, with Altus, Ardmore sitting at about 71, 72. Let's go ahead and check the lows for tonight. Tonight in Edmond sitting at about 45 degrees with clear skies. Winds aren't going to pick up too much throughout the night. They're going to stay relatively the same, blowing south at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. The humidity is going to spike up just a little bit, up to 25%, but we're not going to start to see rain until we move into Wednesday and Wednesday night. Let's go ahead and check tonight's lows around the state. As you can see, pretty much the same story. Northern Oklahoma, Guyman sitting at about 26 degrees. OKC, not too cold out there, 41 degrees. Altus, Lawton, 39, 37 degrees respectively. So it's going to be pretty decent night tonight, but tonight's the night we're not going to have to worry about. Tomorrow, it's going to still be a little bit warm around the state. Oklahoma City with a high of 67 degrees. As we see in western Oklahoma, some of that warmer air is going to continue to stay in there until we start to see that front start to move through. Looking at tomorrow's forecast, 7 a.m. sitting in Edmond, Oklahoma, sitting at about 46 degrees with cool skies, sunny skies. Not a lot of cloud coverage just yet. And then we're going to move into noon. It's going to start to pick up that wind. We're going to start to see a lot of gusts. We're going to see a lot of leaves blowing around. We're going to see the wind start to pick up a lot during noon. And then at 7 p.m., the temperature is going to stay relatively the same throughout the day, sitting at about 63 degrees with clear skies. Let's go ahead and check our 7-day forecast real quick. And as you can see on Tuesday, that wind is going to start to move into the state, and it's going to start to bring a lot of weather with it. On Wednesday, we have a 90% chance of rain and snow. Don't see that a lot often. And 70 degrees down to 27 degrees the low. A very big difference in temperatures as we start to move throughout the week. And then on Thursday, that's going to be our best chance to see a lot of the snow activity as the temperature is brought down by that front moving in. But thankfully, as we start to move throughout the week, we're going to see that weather is going to clear up going into the weekend with sunny skies, and the temperature is going to come up too. So we definitely do have a very eventful weekend weather this week. So stay tuned with UCentral. We'll keep you covered. Guys, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, CJ. And that's quite a spectacular week of weather we're getting ready to have. Coming up, we'll have a highlight of the highly anticipated Super Bowl halftime show and show you what celebrities were at the big game. Stick around.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah! Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
In the land of wonder and awe, you won't believe you see what you saw. Where there's something to do for young and for old, where stories are written and then they're retold. Visit Travelok.com today. Come see for yourself and come out to play.
Welcome back to UCentral News. I'm Patrick Talbot, and here is your social media update. Yesterday was a big day in the world of sports and pop culture as Super Bowl 56 brought rap and hip-hop headliners to the stage for the first time in the game's history. As most of us know, yesterday was in fact the Super Bowl, and it was held in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. So naturally, the stars were out and about at the game. The game was opened by former WWE star and Hollywood current super mega star Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as he cut one of the most electrifying pregame promos to get the juices for the game flowing. Other celebrities at the game included LeBron James, Matt Damon, Charlize Theron, Rebel Wilson, Olympic gold medalist Chloe Kim was also in attendance just after winning the gold in Beijing last week. Tons of other celebrities showed out for the big game as it was quite the game, and the halftime show was quite the spectacle. Of course, the next thing we do have to talk about is, in fact, the halftime show that featured Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, and 50 Cent. Forbes.com is reporting that the viewership during the halftime show soared up to 29 million households. The show opened with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg performing their hit song, The Next Episode. They then rolled into California Love before tossing it to 50 Cent, who performed in the club before tossing it to Mary J. Blige, who performed her hit songs Family Affair and No More Drama. Blige then tossed it over to Kendrick Lamar, who performed Mad City, before tossing it to Eminem and Dr. Dre, who performed Forgot About Dre, before Eminem took it solo with Lose Yourself. They closed it out with Still Dre, and it has left some fans debating if this was in fact the best halftime show of all time, or if artists like Prince still hold that title. And another staple of the Super Bowl is the commercials during the game breaks. The commercials this year range from a QR code for a cryptocurrency website to Anna Kendrick playing with Barbies to several trailers for upcoming movies such as Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and Jurassic World Dominion. The film's plot for Jurassic World Dominion has been kept under wraps, but one thing we know for sure is that some of the original stars are set to make their return in the film. The trailer shows Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and Jeff Goldblum all set to reprise their characters from the original film that debuted in 1993. Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt are also set to make their returns in the film. B.D. Wong is also set to return in the movie, but to this point, he's been the only one to appear in both the Jurassic Parks movies and the Jurassic Worlds movie. The film is set to release this year on June 10th, later this summer. I for sure am pretty excited to see some of these movies that were advertised during the big game, but I personally felt like the other commercials were pretty underwhelming. Maybe that's just me though, but here's a great story we have for you. Never mind. Well, that's all I have for you today. Sorry about that. Aaron Gelvin will have more on yesterday's big game coming up. Make sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss out on anything UCentral News, and give us a follow on Twitter at UCentral Media, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/UCentral. Hope you all have a great day. Back to Eden at the desk.
Thanks, Patrick. And like Patrick mentioned, Aaron will have your Super Bowl recap coming up next, so stay tuned.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out?
Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back, Bronco fans. I'm Aaron Gelvin, and this is your Monday Sports Update. And we finally crowned a champion in the National Football League, as 1 year ago, the Los Angeles Rams decided to go with an all-in approach to try and win a championship right now, possibly sacrificing future assets in order to win big in the present. They traded with the Detroit Lions for quarterback Matthew Stafford, and their plan came to fruition last night in Super Bowl 56 as they defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 23-20 in SoFi Stadium. The Rams became the second team in a row to win a Super Bowl in their own stadium after Tampa Bay did so last year. Now let's check on the highlights from a game that was close throughout. The Rams jumped to a lead early as two first-half touchdown passes from Stafford had LA ahead at the break. Odell Beckham Jr. and Cooper Kupp were the recipients of those touchdowns, but later in the first half, Beckham Jr. was injured, forcing Kupp to step up even more in the passing game. Coming out of the locker room, however, it was the Bengals who took control of the game. This long pass to T. Higgins put Cincy in front, and they kept in the lead for most of the game. But a long drive by the Rams brought them back, had them knock on the door with under 2 minutes to go. And remember that Cooper Kupp guy I mentioned earlier? Yeah, he wasn't done. This goal line fade put the Rams up for good, as Cincinnati had one final drive to win or tie the game and send it into overtime. But pressure here from Rams star Aaron Donald on 4th down forced Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow to get rid of the ball, and that is how the Rams became the champs. It's a redemption story from a Super Bowl loss 3 years ago for the Rams, and it's vindication for a front office and a coaching staff that went all in and believed in their team. Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp had a really impressive season, to be honest with you. He was the Super Bowl MVP, he was the wide receiver Triple Crown, and he was fantastic in last night's game. Here he talks about the previous Super Bowl loss and about winning the award.
That last losing to the Patriots, I wasn't able to be a part of that thing. But I don't know what it was. There's just this vision that God revealed to me that we were going to come back. We were going to be a part of a Super Bowl. We were going to win it. And somehow I was going to walk off the field as the MVP of the game.
For all the additions that the Rams made in free agency and all their shrewd trades, it was Kupp, along with Donald, homegrown Rams stars who made the biggest plays of the night. And on the other hand, it's a tough blow after a great season for the Cincinnati Bengals. This team is loaded with a great defense and weapons all over the field, and now has to go back and compete once again in a tough AFC. Here's Bengals coach and Oklahoma native Zach Taylor talking about his strategy on the last drive.
It's hard to lose a play really on the last play of the game. You know, when we were moving the ball and in position to feel like win the game, not tie it. We're going to try to go win it. Been working for the last 6 months, played 21 games, and then you lose the Super Bowl. It's not a lot of fun.
At the end of the day, the Rams just had too many stars, especially on the defensive front, for Burrow and the Bengals to handle. And that's everything I have for sports today. For more news, scores, and updates on everything UCO athletics, visit broncosports.com. Have a great day, Edmond, and we'll take it back to Eden and Patrick at the desk.
Thanks, Aaron.
And we'll have one last look at weather when we return.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
And welcome back. Let's take one last look at the weather for this week. CJ, what do you got for us?
That's right, Patrick. It's going to be a little bit of a crazy week here in weather, as we can see. Let's go ahead and take a look at our 7-day forecast. Monday, today, it's going to feel very nice. Tuesday, we're going to start to see the wind start to pick up a lot. And so that's going to bring in the storm front that is going to bring on Wednesday. Is going to bring us some snow, some rain, some severe weather, some wind. It's going to be a crazy, hectic day on Wednesday. And then moving into Thursday, we're going to have that chance to see some snow as we start to move throughout the week. But thankfully, as we start to move into the weekend, we're going to start to see those temperatures start to come up. Guys, that's all that we have for weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
CJ, and it's going to be a crazy week weather-wise. I hope everybody out there has some good Valentine's Day plans if you got them. We'll catch you in this next edition of UCentral News. I'm Patrick Talbot.
I'm Eden Jones.
Thanks for joining us. Stay safe tonight, Broncos.